This is Brian from Insider Tours in Berlin. He was absolutely brilliant. As he said, he was hyperactive and he talked fast and he went fast, but gee, we got a great tour of the area. He's from Canada, which we recognise by when he said about. Anyway, we saw so much, and I tried to scribble it all into 4 very small pages. A lot of it was about presence of absence. We saw all the main spaces. I liked the stories about the competition of building one thing higher than the people from different countries. There was the bibliothèque, which was this touching memorial about the book burning with the empty bookshelves that you'd look down into and see our own reflections. We saw the synagogue, the new synagogue from 1866, which survived a lot but then was bombed later on. He was saying, you know, it's not a beautiful city, but it's such an astonishing and alive city. And things like we're poor, but we're sexy. I just tried to draw as we walked very quickly. And he was just talking about, you know, we're travellers, not tourists. And tourists don't know where they're today, but travellers don't know where they will be tomorrow. So Brian had this amazing way of being both funny and really including everybody in, but also really touching when he was telling stories about the Jewish population and the memorials to war and some terrible things that had happened as well. This was about this memorial to the impact of the war, and it's about the mothers and the families and the peasant woman who is holding her son who's dying, a soldier. And it's open to the elements, and it's up in this, there's this space up in the roof, so when the rain comes, it rains on her, when the snow comes, same with the sunshine and everything. So really clever. And it's by a Jewish sculptor who lost a son and a grandson both into different wars. This date came up over and over and over again. Traffic jam outside now. Anyway, November the 9th in many, many, many years, which I didn't capture all of them. Brian's hands moved constantly as he motioned, and it's just so full of character. This is where we went on to talk about the Cold War, and we were following the Berlin War, and this was about, we saw the Trubbies, and you know, we went down to where Hitler's bunker would have been underneath, and we heard the story about his death. We saw the Holocaust memorial, the stumbling stones. I think that was particularly, to me, touching. The names of people and where they had worked or lived and what had happened to them. Or maybe they didn't know what happened to them. We went through the ugly checkpoint Charlie and confirmed that this was not in fact Charlie, and Charlie is for C. We talked about the standoff over the diplomatic rights to go to the opera, just to test whether they really could travel across, and they couldn't. About how the war went up overnight in 1961, and families were just instantly divided, you know, depending on where they were that night. And talking about how visitors were welcome through Checkpoint Charlie because of the money, so they could transfer they could exchange their money $1, well, not $1, but one to one. And then when they came back, they couldn't take money back with them. And then about how the wall came down. Brian was just brilliant, and you know, in between all these the stories and things, it would be gird your loins, and we'd be off for the next thing. But he was just terrific, so I can't recommend enough that you go and see Insider Tours. It was a great way to find out about Berlin.